Hello, this is Mike Lloyd. Thanks for tuning into part 2 of my interview with Jena. We are talking all about Pinterest. And in this episode as well, we get into some of the struggles of being an entrepreneur and what it's like when you work from home by yourself. You don't have coworkers around you to bond with, and your friends just don't get what it means to be an entrepreneur. And we will get into the specifics of how boudoir photographers should use Pinterest, what we can and cannot post, and how we can get around all of that. It's pretty good stuff. I learned a ton in this conversation, and I already know Jena. We've had a lot of great conversations so far, so I'm excited for you to learn right along with me. Enjoy. Okay, so as a boudoir photographer, it can be really difficult to share content on a lot of the platforms. Like TikTok will shut down your account if you just mention the word underwear, it seems. Instagram, we have a lot more flexibility. Facebook, a lot less so. How friendly is it to that sort of content? Or do we need to learn how to finagle the rules to not just get our accounts shut down?
I'm going to look and see what comes up because I feel like I've seen that it would be fine because I
Mm-hmm.
probably have a board, but
I
yeah,
had a
no,
client once share a board with me with inspiration photos, and like half the photos were mine. And she asked if I could do something like that. I'm like, those are all my
yeah,
photos, right? She's like, oh man, I can't believe I'm talking to you. You took these? I'm like, yeah, well, we're gonna be a great fit. I'm glad we figured that out right away.
yeah. So it is it's all over.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I just did a search and that there was tons of stuff that came up. There were inspiration photos. What's great with Pinterest is you can look. And if you're looking for other like ideas as to how to talk about it, it actually gives you related searches. So that's going to tell you how other people are searching for that type of content,
yep,
which is extremely helpful. And it's wide open. It's fine.
awesome. That's such a relief because it's so frustrating to put all this time and energy to build an audience, to create your presence on a platform, to just have it taken away from you, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So,
Yeah.
are there like nudity rules on there? Do things have to be censored?
Um, I am looking back and I would say yes. You would probably have to be a little more tame with things that you're
Yep.
sharing on there. If you But once they get to your website, then that's the beauty of it is you can put what the platform will allow, which is pretty good. Like I mean, looking at it, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's a lot out there, so that means there's a lot of other people that are getting away with being able to put this type of content out there, since other
Yeah.
platforms don't allow it. But what's nice is you do what the platform will allow you, but because you're taking them directly to your website, that's yours.
Yeah.
And that means you get to do what you want on your website and you're going to be able to really dig deeper into exactly what you do because like you said what you do is very different and we talked before about you even tried to change the language around the way that you spoke about it and keyword wise that didn't work out but that will that's why I love that it takes you directly to people's websites
Yeah.
is that's your home base of your business and you're in control of that and the experience that people have there.
Yep. So that's a great, I guess, mindset shift for me to look at Pinterest. Yes, it's searchable, but it's the start of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a hook. It's something to get them interested in you, and then once they're on your website, that's when you can really allow them to get to know you and what you do. So
Yes.
cool.
Without the distractions of social media. Like I cannot emphasize that enough is when you get people on your website versus all the other things that come up on social media. Like yes, social media is amazing, but when you have something that's directly allowing people to really see what you're all about directly and they can go and then look at all the work that you've done that you have on your website. I mean, it kind of makes you bingeable.
Yeah, totally. Without having to worry about like their racist uncle posting right after them that gets them angry, and then they forget that they even just found you. So
Yes. Yes.
that's a win for everybody. Sweet.
And the beauty of people are planning when they're on Pinterest. So it may be that they have this idea of something that they want to do, and
Hmm.
they are just kind of in that thinking about and dreaming and planning phase. And so they can pin all of your stuff. And then when they, because again, the flow of things will be that you get them on your email list, you continue to show up for them in another place and develop that relationship. And then when they go back to that Pinterest board, because I'm like, okay, like I'm ready to do this, and they see all of your pins that they've pinned, and then you're in their inbox, like you're showing up in those multiple places and becoming a lot more of a familiar face with the whole knowing people and liking them and trusting
Hmm.
them. You're going to be top of mind with that.
Yeah, brilliant. Love it. So let's jump back into some of the outsourcing things because as you mentioned, right, like you have a lot of time that you spend between the business and the kids and other things. So how do we find a VA so that we can free up some of this time so that we can go out and live a life that doesn't work?
Yes. So I always say to start with like asking for referrals. So go to that community that you have, or if you have like a Facebook group that has conversations like that, like asking for referrals, because for the most part, that's where you're going to get the best people from. Because if you can say like, oh yes, like I hired them, they do great work, like they do what they say they're going to do. Referrals can be a great way to make sure that you find a great person. Um, I train people, so if you're looking for Pinterest
Mhm.
specifically, I have the women that have worked with me to learn the specific skill set of Pinterest, and that's what I focus on solely. But just it's just like I tell the ladies that I do train, like when you're talking with potential clients, finding someone that is a fit for you. You can offer the same service. The prices can be all over the place, but finding someone that you feel comfortable with, that
Mhm.
you feel like they understand you, they get what you're saying. Like it's just like the conversations that you're having should be easy and natural when you're like on that discovery call type thing. And if it's not, then maybe that's not the best fit because that kind of means every conversation you have is probably going to be a little awkward and just
Yep.
not very comfortable.
It's kind of like going on a date. You got to make
It's
sure you
exactly like
vibe.
going on a date.
Yep. You've got the same goals and intentions. You can communicate well, and then you can go from there.
Yes.
So, budget wise, what should someone? I mean, I know the range is huge based on experience and where they are in the world. What sort of numbers can we expect?
So for hiring out the services,
Just to find a VA to
so
start doing things like Pinterest.
most people work on like a 6 month contract. So you want to have that locked in. A lot of that for me and the way that I teach it is based around you have the understanding that it may take that full 6 months for things to get going. Like I don't want to work with someone that's going to get impatient and bail like 2 or 3 months in when I've made it abundantly clear that it's going to take 6, 7 months for you to really start seeing things, really happening, especially
Yeah.
with, the almighty website traffic, which is what you want because you can see like impressions, like eyes on your content can increase pretty rapidly, but that doesn't put money in your bank. So what you're looking for might take that full 6 months. And so you just have to look at, what their prices are for that monthly management. And, when you're talking, they should make it clear, like, is it a 3 month contract? Is it a 6 month contract? Some people may do it month to month still, but be ready to commit to really probably a full year. That way you can get past that 6 month mark and really get things optimized and going.
Yeah.
Because just like with anything else, you're gonna have to go through that process of, okay, like we're starting to get some traffic in. Let's improve things. Let's use the data that we have. I love that Pinterest gives us a lot of data. We can see, if your impressions are going up, you have the keywords are good. And then you have to make sure that you're really enticing pinners to click and actually go to your website. So through each stage of that, you can look at the data and look at things and optimize it. So kind of the long way around is you want to have like a year commitment really if you're committed to seeing this through. So, when you're talking someone with someone and they give you their prices, that's kind of what I would think about with the long term of
Okay.
that.
Plan for a year. And if someone's not available for a year, or they're not sure if they want to do it, probably not somebody that you should sign up with. Because if you spend the time to get to know somebody and train them and have them creating your content and then they bounce, you got to start all over again and you're going to lose a bunch of that momentum, right?
Yes, yes. There have been a couple of clients that I've taken on over the years. That's exactly what happened to them, is someone decided, that's not what they wanted to do anymore, or life happened and they went on their way. And picking up the pieces from something like that is it's really frustrating. You hate to see that happen in your industry. It kind of gives everybody a bad name.
Yeah. And there's always going to be something as a business owner. Like, it's never just going to be smooth sailing all the time. I mean, in life. And so we're planning to mitigate those instances of unwanted speed bumps there. So I think the contract is great. And for a year, if 6 months in, it's still crickets and tumbleweeds, you're like, okay, maybe we got 6 months to fix this before the contract is up. So again, checking the data, you pivot more calls with you to figure out what's going on. And your VA doesn't just have to do the Pinterest stuff for you. That can be one part of the contract. They can be responding to emails. They could be doing social media engagement. There is so much in your business that you don't have to do that your VA can do really well for you.
Yes. I mean, and if you're one of those people that you have a VA, then if they are wanting to take on additional service and work for you more, then that's something that you can do. Is they can go through my program and learn how to do Pinterest for you. I've done the one-on-one training like we talked about before, just with someone's VA. Like, if you already have a team of people that you're working with, then you don't necessarily have to go find a new person and bring on like one more person for you to bring into your world. You can just train the person that you already have helping, that maybe is going through your emails and doing some of the other things to take those off of your plate. This can be something they can pick up and do for you as well.
Absolutely. So, case in point, my VA, Jena, I met her through my friend Emily, who runs a spray tan booth. She's or tanning salon, multiple services offered. Anyway, Emily referred Jena to me to do social media engagement. And from there, I sent her to our friend Kate, and they were the two that I'm doing the mastermind with, plus 2 other photographer friends of mine. So now she's doing Instagram engagement and some other stuff for like 5 people that I know. And after our chat last time, I reached out to a handful of them, and it's like, how would you feel about doing Pinterest for your stuff? A couple photographers and someone who sells wholesale products, things that businesses where Pinterest would make sense, not just the local small ticket services. And they're like, that sounds amazing. I'm like, cool, I'm going to put Jana through the training, and then she can run all of our accounts for us. And they're like, I'm in. And she's amazing. She's phenomenal with communication. She is reliable. We don't do a contract. I don't have her doing the Pinterest yet, but we just do everything hourly, and I've approved X number of hours per week based on the projects we have. And then that workload is probably tripled in the last 3-4 months since I hired her on initially. So now she's doing a ton more for me. And like, I wish I could just like take her full time and make her part of my business, because she's amazing. She learned so fast, and I want to keep training her to like, give her more fulfillment, to feel more valuable also, and just see her grow. So it's been a pretty cool journey, even over just a few short months.
Yes, when you find the right fit for working with you, it makes all the difference for sure.
Yeah. And she's like 16, I think, 16 or 17, living in the Philippines. And I don't know that she wants to do this the rest of her life. I hope she does, because I don't want to have to try to find someone to fill her shoes.
Definitely not.
No. But I'm learning a ton also. And I've had VAs in the past that weren't as great. And so I think to expect to, it's like to meet your soulmate with the first person that you date is not a realistic expectation. That's kind of the same with VAs. You're going to interview people. You'll try things out. They take 3 days to get back to you every time you contact them. That doesn't work in my business. Probably doesn't work in yours. you let them go, and then you move on and you try somebody different. And then you get that magic person, and it just frees up so much energy and time in your life. It's pretty wonderful.
Yes.
So do you have places where you go to find them other than asking for referrals?
At this point, I honestly stick with referrals. Like I have a couple of groups where I can go in and ask for referrals for things, and I'll get. I mean, these are larger business-based groups, and I can say like, hey, I'm
Yep.
looking for, I need to hire out this service. I need some help with this, and I'll get all the people that they've actually worked with, and that's what I really love is they can back up that they've done the work for them, that they were
Yeah.
happy with the work that they did for them, and that I feel like that cuts out a lot of that trial and error and finding someone that is going to be qualified and that shows up when they say they're going to show up.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, and you can join business groups on Facebook. I know in our own photography group, there's other photographers and they're using VAs. I'm in other photography groups as well. Someone was looking for a new editor the other day. And so I talked about mine in there and how I found her. And she went on and found an editor the same way. And that was, I got lucky with that one. The very first one I've ever hired is absolutely phenomenal, totally
You did
changed.
get lucky.
I did, I know. Like I've had people in the past do some other single job editing stuff, but not somebody that I could just send 4 shoots to a week, 100 photos at a time, and just know that I'm going to get perfect results back on time every single time. She's never missed a deadline, and it's been almost 2 years of working together,
That's
which is
phenomenal.
an insane track record. I know I'm so lucky to have her. And there are times like if I have a slow month, I'll like send her extra money anyway. I'm like, please don't go elsewhere. I don't want to lose you. So you find the ones that are good and hold on to them and share them with everyone else that can also benefit from them.
Yes. I feel like there's
So
been that common thread of the networking and like going to people for VAs, and then when you find someone like sharing that amazing help that you found and just coming together for community, like there's just been that common thread, and I love that.
yeah, and with like the social media engagement with some of the other stuff that we're doing, I can call one of my friends who also works with her. I'm like, have you noticed this thing happening? Or have your numbers gone down over here? Or what's worked for you? And then we can chat new ways to do it. And then I can just tell Jana, for example, like, hey, this is how we're going to do it moving forward now, both of our accounts. And like the change happens the same way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way easy to find a virtual assistant. We probably should have clarified what VA stood for 45 minutes ago, but it's fine. So, yeah, I mean, so many people work as virtual assistants or have hired a virtual assistant at some point. If you get into any place where there are business owners, you should be able to get some kind of recommendation for somebody. And as you said, Jenna, like they don't have to know how to do everything right away because there are more than enough resources out there to train them to do these new things. So,
Yes. That's
um,
exactly how I got started. Was I was hired for doing some kind of random stuff, and then the first client that hired me was like, I think that you can do more. Let's look into this, and that's how I got started with Pinterest. Was just someone was like, I think you could like really help me with something different, totally over here, and got me the training and taught me, and
yeah,
it's just been we had a good working relationship, and that kind of changed everything for me.
yeah, love it. And things change over time. I mean, you were doing that and now you're doing your own thing and training other people. And I love that you offered continued support because you're staying in the platform. You're not detached from how the whole system works. Like you're actually living the thing that you're teaching other people how to do, which anytime, I don't know, I see somebody offering a course in a thing that they don't do, I doubt their credibility. They might be very well qualified, but I want to learn from someone who's still currently doing the things because of how fast technology and trends and algorithms change.
Yep, I have. There's not been. It's been almost 3 years since I've been training other people, and I have been providing services for clients throughout that entire time. Like I didn't just ditch the services and you know do the coaching type thing. Like
Yep.
I'm mentoring, I'm helping other people do the same thing, but I am, for lack of better terms, like in the trenches doing it also.
Yeah, love it. So where can photographers find you? If they're like, cool, sign me up. How do I do this?
Yep. So my website is going to be the best place. It is, just full disclosure, it is kind of geared towards the mentoring that I do, but you can send me an email through there with the form. It's jenaliat.com. And if you are looking to talk strategy and say like, hey, is Pinterest even going to be a good fit for me?
Hmm.
Or you want me to connect you with, someone that I've trained that's gone through my program because you're looking for getting started with a Pinterest virtual assistant, then that's going to be the best way to get in touch.
Yeah, love it. And that'll all be linked down below in the show description. So you can just click on that right there. If you had one actionable tip for photographers today who are curious about this and want to get started, what would it be?
I would say look at your business how it is right now and make sure that you're ready because the last thing we want to do is spin your wheels on another platform that is not actually going to grow your business. So if you don't have a website, you don't need to worry about Pinterest yet. You could, because people will tell you you can send your traffic to your Instagram or to your Facebook. Long story short, you don't get the data like you do from sending people to your website. So you'll never really know what's working and what's not. You'll never even really know if anyone's going over to read your posts on these other platforms. And that's going to be really frustrating if you're putting time or money into something. So
Right.
you need to have your website. You need to have content, like we talked about. Blog posts are going to do really well because it has to be something that's going to entice pinners to go from, looking at your pin to actually going to your website. And then you have those in place. The most important piece for me, honestly, is making sure that you have a way to connect with people once they get on your website. You don't want them to go over and read your blog post and then open the next app on their phone when they're
Right.
just kind of doing all of this. You want to get people on your email list. You can prompt them to book a call with you. Really, email list is probably the best because cold traffic's not going to convert well to like hopping on a phone call with someone they know nothing about. So that's going to be kind of the things that you need to look at to make sure that you have those things in place before you worry about adding in another platform.
Right. Yeah, that's great advice. Well, I think we are about at time, or I'm sure we could just fill the rest of the day with more conversation about this. So thank you so much for coming on here and chatting Pinterest and like the struggles of entrepreneurship and how we can use kind of all of these things together to grow the business and keep ourselves sane. I appreciate it.
Yes, great conversation. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. And that wraps up my interview with Jena. I hope you got a ton out of that and you're ready to dive in and make Pinterest a part of your business. And as she mentioned, if you don't have a website up yet, you're not sure what to charge, you're not quite ready to start bringing on clients, Pinterest probably isn't going to be the right thing for you yet. But as she mentioned, you can start your account, start priming the pump, get some pins posted, make some boards about boudoir, and let Pinterest know who you are and what you're doing. So when you get to the point of wanting to bring in a ton of clients, you are already on your way. Again, I've got the link down below so you can go check out her program, whether you want to get a VA through her or just hire her to do the stuff for you. I totally support you either way. Whatever makes the most sense for you and your business. If you have any questions about any of this or want to chat some more, drop them in the comments down below. I'd love to find out what you think. You are amazing. See you inside.